conditioning class tonight. I'm going to get it right. Messed up the schedule yesterday, but today we're on track. We're going to be looking at deadlifts today. We will be doing some rowing motion. We're going to be doing it from the floor. I'll give you an option to use a weight for that, but that's not necessary. And other than that, you might want to wait for our conditioning portion, but we'll see when we get there. We're going to start with our warm-up, starting with our head and working our way down. I don't know who that just came in. Someone else came in. Okay. Hello. All right, so with our warm-up, looking up and down, starting with our neck, our head and neck, keeping those shoulders relaxed. We're here for 10. And when you've done 10, you're going to bring it back to center. We're just going to drop the ear to one shoulder. Again, keeping those shoulders relaxed. We're just doing 5 on each side. And then we're going to hold it and do some half circles to the front. So 3 half circles in each direction, keeping those shoulders down. All right, back up. Let's move on to the shoulders. We're going to do some big arm circles. That's it. Let's go the other way. Yeah, keeping those arms straight. Okay, this time we're going to stay with the upper body. We're going to just open the arms front and back. You're going to see if you can alternate which arm goes on top. We're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to open it to the side. So when we open it to the side, we have a little twist. We rotate. We squeeze the glute to open the hip. All right, shake it out. Bringing the arms out in front. We're going to bring one arm back, reach it behind. Again, you're going to have a little twist here, and then to the front. You're going to alternate 5 on each side. Really twisting that arm back, reaching forward with that front arm. All right, good. Shake it out. Spinal roll downs. So starting with the head, we're rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. Knees are soft. You can let gravity pull those arms down as you're on your way down. When your fingers get to the floor, take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you can roll up. Keep the knees soft, tuck your tailbone. The head is the last thing to come up. Let's do that one more time. This time when the hands get to the floor, you're walking them to one side. So your knees can be bent here, so as bent as they need to be to get your hands to the floor. And then you're just going to push into the floor with your hands, straighten your arms. Get that stretch through the side body. Other side. If you want to straighten your legs here, you can. Back to center. Slowly roll up. Good. Reach out. Reach, reach, reach. So what legs are wide now, we're going to bend to one side. Open that armpit up towards the ceiling. Arm comes up, and then you come up. So let that arm pull you up. Other side, reach, bend, reach that arm away, turn that armpit to the ceiling. Now from here, we bring the arm down to the leg or the foot, stretching the back of the leg. So relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Just let everything be heavy. Breathe. If you're on your left foot, your right hand stays on the floor. You open your left arm to the ceiling. Nice smooth breath. And we'll take it to the other side. So just hanging out, stretching the leg first, relaxing head, neck, and shoulders. This time, if you're on your right foot, the right arm opens up towards the ceiling. Bringing it back down to center. We're going to hang out at the bottom. You're going to grab your elbows and just relax. Let gravity pull you down. See if you can bring your weight into the balls of your feet. If you want to try to sway back and forth, that feels nice. And then we slowly roll up. Good. All right, big hip circles. We're going to do 6 in each direction. Okay, other way. I hope I'm not the only one who gets all those little hip cracks happening. And then my ankles. Okay, ankles, point and flex. Big point, big flex. Let's take it side to side. If you need to hang on to something for balance, you can do that. Big circles with the ankle. And other way. Nice. Other side. Point flex. Side to side. Good. And circles. So pointing the toes as we go back and then flexing the foot as the toes come to the front. Change direction. Okay, moving on. So like we saw yesterday in our warm-up, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do that bear crawl forward and back. 10 steps forward, 10 steps back in our diagonal stretch. We will go through it. I'll take you through the levels, starting in your downward dog. Your spine is nice and straight here. Your arms are straight. You're lifting that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Your legs are as straight as you can get them. Some of you may be able to get the legs straight. If you have to keep them bent, that's fine. The important thing here is to keep that back straight. So we're just going to do some rocks forward and back, shifting that weight from our feet to our hands. And from there, you can start to move forward. Opposite arm, opposite foot. If you want to keep the rocking motion going, as you move forward and back, you can. Or you can just not rock. Now as you're moving back, notice how hard you have to push into the hands and the arms. Keep those shoulders strong, back straight. Okay, good. Diagonal stretch. So we're stretching across the front of the body. We start with the feet under the hips. We're going to step one foot back. Both knees are bent. Sorry, someone's just trying to get in here. Both knees are bent. You're squeezing your glute. As you squeeze your glute, you should feel that front hip open up. If your right foot is back, you're going to cross your left arm, or sorry, if your right foot is back, you're crossing your right arm to your left shoulder. So I really just want you to feel this stretch first before we even move. So find that balance in your feet, squeeze your glute, and before we do anything, I just want you to release that contraction and then contract. And just notice how much more stable you are when you are contracting that glute. You're going to maintain that contraction as you reach the arm back and touch the back of the leg. If that feels okay, you can circle the arm back. Keep squeezing. We're here for 5. Then you'll go to the other side, set it up. So again, take your time to own that position. Feet are securely connected to the floor. You're squeezing that glute. Arm crosses over. When you're ready, you can reach. You should feel a nice stretch from that hip across the front of the body. Good. All right. So let's do that again. Bear walk forward and back, 10 steps, and then that diagonal stretch. So coming into your downward dog position, back is straight, arms are straight, tailbone reaches up to the ceiling, reaching forward with the hands, 10 steps forward, 10 steps back. You can break it up into 5 and 5 if you don't have the space. Cool. Setting up that diagonal stretch. Get everything engaged, and then go. Seeing if you can reach back and touch a little bit lower down the leg. Now that you're a little warmed up. Nice. Good. Yeah, looks good, ladies. All right. Let's move on. So we have some deadlifts today. We're going to be doing some lower body work. So we're going to warm up that lower body a little bit. So starting with lizard, my favorite. So coming to the floor, bringing one foot forward, hands on the inside of the foot. That front foot is connected to the floor. The back knee can stay on the floor, or you can straighten it. I want you to push through those back toes So just feel this stretch first, and then when you're ready, you can add some circles. So we're pushing through those back toes to do some circles, 5 in each direction. And we'll go to the other side. Set it up, back knee on the floor or straight, pushing through those back toes to do those circles. So you'll also get a bit of ankle mobility through that front ankle. We're doing circles through the hips and ankles here, and even the wrists. Okay, we're going to stay on the floor for some shin boxes. So knees are bent. You're going to start by keeping your hands behind you so that back stays nice and straight. So you can use the floor, push into the floor, keep that back straight, and then we just windshield wiper the knees side to side. So let's just all stay here. We're going to do about 10 on each side. This is 8 for me. Good. We're going to stay on the floor. Level 1 will be glute lifts. So knees are bent. You're going to find a neutral pelvis. You're going to bring your hands into a triangle, and you're going to place them so the heels of your hands will be on your hip bones, and then your index fingers will point down towards your pubic bone. You're trying to maintain a level pelvis as you do these glute lifts. So you want that triangle to not tilt. So this is going to be your gauge. So from here, keeping that neutral pelvis position, you lift the glutes, squeeze at the top. You're thinking about driving those knees over your toes. Bring it back down to the floor. So let's stay here for 10. Really squeezing those glutes at the top, not letting that pelvis tilt from side to side. And then when you're done 10, I couldn't get up. We're going to start that again from lizard. So for your knee was on the floor for the first round. If you want to try straightening it for this round, you can do that. We're going to just stick with the circles, 5 in each direction. Good. Other side. Good. Really getting into those hips. All right. So we're going to do shin box again. This time you have an option. So same position, hands behind, chest is up, back is straight. You can windshield wiper those knees. If you want to try taking the hands away from the floor, seeing how straight you can keep your back. If you can do that, then see if you can come up. You hinge the hips back as you go to sit down, and then other side. Coming up, you're squeezing your glute. You're on the side of your knee, the side of your foot. Good. sometimes it's fun just to explore and see where you are with these. Let's do one more on each side. Cool. For our glute lifts this time, you can stay with that first version, or I'll give you an option now to do a reverse tabletop. We're going to do reverse tabletop lifts, I guess. So hands are behind you. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together. So again, that back is straight, chest is up, pushing into the floor, lifting the glutes. Again, squeezing at the top, driving those knees over the toes. So you can do 10 of these or 10 of the glute lifts we saw in the first round. Really squeeze those glutes, keep squeezing those shoulder blades together. And when you're done, you can take a little drink before we move on. Okay, good. So tonight, we have deadlifts. Just deadlift on 2 legs. The weight will be between our legs. We're not doing a suitcase deadlift. It'll just be with the weight between our feet. I'm going to demonstrate. You can do this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. But the deadlift is a hinge. So we're hinging those hips back. The back is staying nice and straight. So the back stays straight as I hinge my hips back. It's not a squat, so I'm not initiating this movement with my knees. I'm initiating with my hips. My knees will bend because I'm hinging my hips back, and that's fine, but I want you to initiate with that hinge. As you lift the weight, you keep your shoulders down away from your ears so that those lats stay on. So these muscles, you want them on the entire time. You can even just, if you put your hand here and then pull your shoulder down away from your ear, you should feel those muscles come on. And that's what you want to keep on as you're lifting the weight. The abs are engaged. You should feel some tension, a lot of tension through the back of the legs. And then you lift. Yeah. As you come down, remember you initiate by hinging those hips back. Again, keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Keep the abs on. Do a few just so I can see. Good. Yes, Julie. Good, Waverly. Yeah.
I'm here at just the sunset.
You're so lucky to be outside. Okay, cool. So we're going to do 5 rounds of these. If you have more than one set of weight, you can move up in weight as we go through these rounds. And I would encourage you to do that if you have the weight. If not, then you're going to just try to maintain the same number of reps at each round. So we're working in a 45-second work interval with a 15-second rest. So a few ways also, if you want to make these maybe a little bit harder, if your weight is super light. So you can do just your volume deadlifts, keeping that form. Or you can do a tempo deadlift. So we did these tempo squats last night. So it's the same idea. From this top, you're going to go down nice and slow for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you explode up. So this could be another way. If your weight is very light and you feel like maybe you need a little bit more resistance, you can do those slow negatives. You won't get as many reps in, but that's okay. So we're going to pair these deadlifts with a Renegade row. So without any weight, maybe we will all just do it without any weight tonight. I think we will. Okay. From the high push-up position, if you can. If not, you're from your knees. But that back still stays nice and straight. We're not rounding. We're not pushing our bum back. If I came from the floor, pushed straight up, this is where I want my back. From the toes. Now, you might want to bring your hands in a little bit closer, because what we're going to do is we're going to row the arm up. We're going to alternate. Keeping that elbow in nice and close. We're pulling the arm up. Do a few so I can see. Okay, good. So as your hand is coming off the floor, oh, really nice, Julie. As one hand is coming off the floor, if your right hand is coming off the floor, I want you to push extra hard through your right foot so that your hips don't wiggle. If you're doing them from your knees, you're still going to brace extra hard. Yes. Good, Marie. If you want to add some weight, Julie, I see you have weight there. You could use your kettlebells. It's the same thing, only instead of just lifting the arm, you're lifting the weight. I'm not going to lift the yellow one. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, I can. All right, it's just heavy. Okay. So we're going to do 5 rounds of this, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. If that 45-second work interval is too long for you, you can stop when you get to X number of reps. You're free to rest whenever you like. But what I want you to think about is just every rep, you're hinging the hips back, you're keeping the abs on, shoulders down away from the ears. So just keeping all of that in mind as we lift. You can use one weight or 2. Are there any questions? We're ready to go? We're good? Yeah? Okay, sweet. So starting in 15. 5 rounds. If you can count your reps. If you're good at counting, some of us aren't. Set it up, brace, and lift. Hinging those hips back. Squeezing the glutes at the top. Good. Even at the bottom, if you want to take a sec and just really feel those hamstrings, get the lats down, just to reinforce what the position should feel like. Okay, rows. With or without the weight? Maybe I'll try a weight. So high push-up position, push into those feet. We're alternating. This might feel like a really long 45 seconds, but I think you can do it. Arms are nice and straight while it's supporting you. You don't have to rush these. If you want to take a sec in between each rep, you can do that. Back to deadlifts. All right, set it up. Whew. Good. Keep that back straight. Keep going. We're close. There it is. Back to rows. This is only round 2. Okay, nice and tight. Push into those feet. You're keeping that elbow in close, squeezing that shoulder blade as you pull it up. Paying attention to what the hips are doing as you take your hand off the floor. Back to deadlifts. So you can move up in weight, remember, or you can change the tempo. Here we go. It's getting warm. Keep going. Good job. Sweet. Rows. All right, round 3. Big pull. You got it. Feet, feet, feet. Squeeze the legs. Squeeze the glutes. Round 4. 2 more. Here we go. Yes, good. Shoulders away from the ears. Hinge the hips back. Good. Yes. Yeah, that all looks good. Rows. We only have 1 more round after this. Remember, you don't have to rush it. I want you to move with control, own every position. See if you can make your last rep as clean as your first. Last time. Last round, best round. Keep it up. Should be burning. Good. So the weight is just coming straight up and down. Good. Last time for rows. Then we get a little break. So watch those hips. You not only don't want them to wiggle, but you don't want them going side to side or up and down. Nice. Ah, Julie, 12s. Holy. Good, Eileen. All right. Grab a drink. Good job. First part done. Okay. So for this next part, our conditioning, our first exercise is going to be a kneel to stand, or a stand to kneel. We're going to do it 30 seconds on one side and 30 seconds on the other side. You can do it with or without weight, and simply going from standing to kneeling, back up to standing. So just try that without any weight, staying on one side. So the foot that steps back is the same foot that steps forward. Okay. So try a few on each side. Good. Okay. Actually, I lied. We're not doing 30 seconds on each side. It's 30 seconds altogether. But we're going to alternate. It's supposed to be alternating. So let's try it alternating. So stepping back. So we're stepping back and stepping forward with one, and then stepping back and stepping forward with the other. So step back with the right, forward with the right, back with the left, forward with the left. So then if that feels okay, you can try adding a weight. So you can hold the weight, if you have a kettlebell, you can hold it in the rack position. And I mean, it would be uneven if you held it on one side, but you could switch. So round one, you hold it on the right, round two, you hold it on the left. Or you can hold it simply in this bottoms up position, or if you have a dumbbell, you just hold the dumbbell at the chest. And it would be the same thing. Stepping back, only now you have a weight. Okay? Are we all right with that one? Yeah? Okay. We're going to come to the floor and we're going to do single leg glute lifts. So we did some two-legged glute lifts in the warm-up. We're going to do single leg glute lifts now. So for the single leg glute lift, nothing changes. That pelvis still stays neutral. We squeeze the glutes at the top. We're driving the knee over the toes. Only now, one foot is off the floor and we're just relying on one side to do all the work. As you get to the top, squeeze, hold it for a beat, and then bringing it down with control. Try a few of those on each side. Let me know if you have any issues. If you want to do the 2 legs at a time, you can do that. Good, so thinking about driving the knee over the toe as you lift those glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze at the top. Good. So we're going to do 30 seconds on one side and 30 seconds on the other. Okay? Then we come down for a side plank. So level 1 will just be holding your side plank, either from the elbow and the knees, or the elbow and the feet. If you can do it from the hand and the feet, I would encourage that. If the side plank is like a breeze and boring for you, what we're going to do is we're going to go from a high plank to the side plank. So like we were doing with those rows, it's going to be the same motion. So we first row the arm up, and as we rotate, we can open the arm to the ceiling. Bring it down, coming back, high plank, but you stay on one side. Row up, open, come back down. Or you just hold that side plank. Yeah, oh, Marie, nice. Oh, you're all doing it. I love it. Cool. So you're gonna see it is, I find it a lot harder to stay on one side doing those than alternating. So you'll have to tell me what you think. But we will be staying on one side for the 30 seconds and then switching. So it's only those exercises. Kneel to stand, 30 seconds. Single leg glute lift right, single leg glute lift left, side plank right, side plank left, 4 times. Any questions? We're good to go? Thumbs up? Sweet. If you have music you want to pump at home, by all means. I'm afraid if I put music on, YouTube will hear it and maybe not let me post my videos. So I don't want to take that chance right now. Starting in 15. Kneel to stand with or without a weight. You can hold it, like I said, with 2 hands in the rack position. Or if you want to do single arm and switch on round 2. Remember, you're stepping back and front with the same side and then switching. So you have to pay attention to your right and your left, which might be the hardest part. All right, single leg glute lifts. If you wanted to make these harder, you could put your foot, you could raise your foot and just make that range of motion longer. Still squeezing the glute at the top, driving the knee forward. Keeping that pelvis neutral, not letting it wiggle side to side, up and down. Even take a second, hold it at the top, 1 Mississippi, then come down. Other side. I actually like that with the foot up. Neutral pelvis, you can do your check with your triangle. Big squeeze. You can keep your hands on your pelvis even for these to keep yourself in check. And control that way down. You want to be in control of that negative. Side plank. So either just the side plank or with front plank to side plank. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the glutes. Pushing extra hard into that foot. If your right hand is coming off, push extra hard into those right toes. Keep that hip down. Rest. We're going to go to the other side. Here we go. You can also hang out in any one of these positions if you like. If you want to take a break and rest in high plank, you can, if you consider that a rest. Okay, kneel and stand. So paying attention to the feet, making sure when you're stepping forward that your foot is firmly connected to the floor. You're driving through that front foot, even that front heel. You can think about pushing through that front heel. Get those glutes engaged. You might have a little lean forward as you go to stand. Glute lifts. Single leg. If you want to elevate the foot, you can. Keep going. Big squeeze. Rest. So again, we're working intervals. If you're able to keep track of your reps, see if you can keep that pace throughout the entire workout. And then eventually what happens is you get to know how many reps you typically can do in 30 seconds. And then it makes the workout a little more predictable and a little more less intimidating, I guess. Okay, side plank. Arms and shoulders are nice and strong here. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Everything is a lat exercise and a glute exercise. Even when you don't think they are, they are. So if you're in your side plank, you're paying attention to that shoulder. So you don't want to collapse into the shoulder. You're always pushing into the shoulder, keeping it away from the ear. Arm stays nice and straight. And just like we talked about last night when we were doing our planks and our bear holds, you can think about having your weight in your hands under the first knuckles. So trying to keep the weight in the middle of the hand. Kneel to stand. We're halfway. 7.5 minutes and it's done. Here we go. So as you're stepping your feet back, keep those toes tucked. Don't, like if you had shoes on, you wouldn't want your laces on the floor. Glute lifts. Drive it up. Squeeze. Knee over toes. Neutral pelvis. So as your hips are coming down, as your bum and the back of your hips, see if they're landing on the floor at the same time. Or does maybe one side hit the floor first? That could be an indication that maybe the pelvis is moving around a bit. So that's just one form of feedback we can pay attention to. And it's not wrong if you're doing it that way. We're just noticing these little details. And maybe see if we fix the little details, how much of a difference it makes. Hold it at the top, at least a second. Side plank. Moving with control. Always, always, always. You can move super fast in other classes, but for the 60 minutes, we just pay attention. Push through those feet. Squeeze the legs and the glutes. We have one more side and then one more round. Let's do it. So you can also play with the position of your feet here. Maybe bringing them a little wider will give you a more stable base. You can even play with how close you keep your hands. Okay, last round. Get it ready and go. Remember, driving through that front heel. Making that mind muscle connection through that glute. So the front foot that's forward, that glute is doing all the work. Glute lifts. Drive it up. Pay attention to that pelvis. Again, when your bum comes to the floor, what's happening? We're going to the other side for the last time. Here we go. Glutes, glutes, glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We're almost there. All right. Side plank. So it's our last round, but we're going to make these reps as nice as they were on our first round, or maybe our second round was better. Good. Oh yeah, look at you guys. Love it. Other side. Here we go. Keep it tight. We're almost there. Shoulders are strong. That's it. Grab a drink. We're going to stretch before I let you go. We're good? Yeah? Cool. Okay. So let's start. We're going to come into a straddle position. We're going to come in, bring one foot in. So the foot is just on the inside of the thigh. You're going to see if you can square your body over that extended leg. And you're just going to reach your, I say just, as if it's easy. You're going to try to reach your chin for your toes. So we're trying to keep the back here as straight as possible. We're getting a nice stretch through the back of the leg. Okay, let's take it to the other side. So one side will likely feel tighter than the other, even just the position of the knee. So don't try to force the sides to match. You're just going to go to wherever you go and respect that. These stretches will look different on everyone. So just pay attention to what's happening in your body. But that chin is reaching towards the toes. Don't tuck the chin around the back. By reaching the chin towards the toes, we're lengthening the spine a little more. All right, let's come down onto the floor. Crossing the right leg over the left, dropping the knees to the left. And stretch out, do a little twisting stretch for those side planks. Stretch outer side. You're gonna think about getting both of your shoulders to the floor. They may not be there, but that's okay. You still think about it anyway. And we'll go to the other side. So coming up to center and then crossing the other leg over and dropping them to the side. So now we're on the right. You can extend your arms out beside you. You have the room. And back up to center. Let's uncross the legs, but now we cross the right ankle over the left knee. So we're in the figure 4 stretch. That knee is flaring out to the side. You're going to lift your left foot off the floor, reach through the window, and pull it in towards you. So we're getting that stretch through the right hip. Flex your feet. Deep breath in. And we'll go to the other side. All right, release. Let's rock up to seated. And just a comfortable cross-legged position of your choice. And we're going to just stretch out that side body a little more. Our last stretch, we're going to reach up, bend to one side, and then go to the other side. So you can do this as fast or as slow as you like. This is a nice one. We'll do 5 on each side. And that is it. Thank you.